Hello guys, welcome to the fiction series. Today we are gonna see, what if Naruto was the Uchiha Juubi v2 and got harem? Part 1. If you want more awesome fan fiction like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, so without wasting any time, let's get into the video. The village of Konohagakure was in trouble right now because the most powerful demon, the Kyuubi no Yoko, was attacking them. This fox was enormous, the size of a small mountain. Its fur was a bright orange color. Its eyes were the color of blood. Its eyes were surrounded by a long mask of darkness that extended from its long ears. The demon's upper body structure looked humanoid, complete with thumbs on its clawed hands. The demon fox released a blast of fire from its mouth. Its tails lashed out, smashing mountains, summoning tsunamis, and even spawned a massive tornado. A couple of times the fox rose on its hind legs and used its forearms to crush several ninja. The demon fox was looking for something precious that had been taken from it, its crimson cat-like eyes showing complete and utter hatred toward the humans, its mouth contorted into a frightening fanged snarl, salive its fangs and smoke drifted from its mouth. "Where is he? I know you ninja took him. Give him back." The demon fox roared in a booming tone, its roar sent massive shockwaves throughout the village. The Konohinin wondered who he was the fox boomed about. But no way in hell could they allow it to do any more damage. The ninja rose up and charged the giant demon fox, only to be cleaved in half by one swipe from its massive pawed hand, then destroyed by another blast of fire. "Come on, hold it back until Yondaime-sama arrives," one Konohinin yelled out to the others. His comrades nodded and lunged at the fox. "You're keeping him so you can use his power. You ninja are monsters. Give me my mate back." The demon fox unleashed another massive roar. The mere shockwaves sent the ninja sailing. "Bruire." The Kyuubi opened its mouth and a giant black sphere formed. The sphere was fired as a massive red chakra blast. The blast was strong enough to destroy one of the districts of the village. Hidden near the area. What? Why is she attacking? I don't remember sensing anything to make her attack unless. The black-haired woman clad in a black robe with red clouds realized the young man that came to the village. She remembered meeting a young man who had white hair and yellow eyes. He had asked if he could stay and become a ninja of the village, but refused to allow them to make him one right away. He wanted to learn more about the village first. This woman is the first leader of the Uchiha. Uchiha Madara, the first one to learn the secrets behind the Manjikyu, and the current only user of the eternal Manjikyu Sharingan. She should be pushing 80 plus, yet still looks to be only 25 at the most, due to awakening the eternal Manjikyu. After her younger brother Uchiha Izuna died while he was dying, he gave her his eyes. Her eternal Manjikyu gives her eternal youth, and her massive amounts of chakra gives her near eternal life. She was also betrayed by a power-hungry Senju Hashirama. He had fought and nearly killed her in the Valley of the End, along with the original Kyuubi who she summoned to help her against Tai. I remember he was injured when he came to the village and he still suffers from it. Murata then disappeared in a swirl. In the Leaf Village Hospital. A beautiful woman with long dark red hair, grayish eyes, and a well-endowed figure was holding her newborn child in her arms. She wore a hospital gown. She smiled down lovingly at him. He had a mop of reddish blonde hair, and when he opened his eyes, they were the purest blue you ever saw. She continued gazing at her newborn son. She didn't know why yet, but she felt butterflies in her stomach from looking at him. He had the cutest whisker marks on his face due to his mother being a former Jinchuriki. There was a girl with her. She was 13 years old. She had long blonde hair with black streaks and grayish blue eyes. She had a figure most girls her age would kill, for she wore a blue shirt and khaki shorts. There also was a younger boy of 7 with her. He had dark black hair and obsidian eyes. He is Uzumaki Uchiha Itachi, the newborn's older brother. He's already a genin, and even activated his Sharingan, and it's complete. The young boy still has yet to activate his mother's Kekkei Genkai, the Louder clan, to manipulate water. The girl is Namikaze Uchiha Hibara. Minato's only daughter. Hibara had inherited her mother's looks. But her father's hair color. She is the elder sister of the two. They all have the same father, just different mothers. Minato had a small affair with Mikoto. Uzumaki Uchiha Kushina is the daughter of Uchiha Murata and Uzumaki Ryu, first wife of the 4th Hokage, the Yellow Flash, mother of Itachi and the newborn, and former Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi. "You'll be a fine ninja one day, my little Naruto-kun," Kushina cooed to her little Minato. Hibara wanted to hold her little brother, as did Itachi. "Kushina-ka-san, may I hold him?" Hibara looked up to Kushina as a second mother. She may be genin rank, but is strong enough to match most jonin like Itachi. She too had activated her Sharingan. It's fully complete as well. "Yeah, me too after Nichan-ka-san?" Itachi asked. "Sure, Hibara-chan." Itachi-kun. Kushina smiled to her son and stepdaughter. She was about to hand Naruto over to Hibara. But then a yellow flash of light appeared to reveal Minato Namikaze, the Yondaime Hokage Konoha no Kiroi Senko, father of Hibara, Itachi, and Naruto. "Kushina-chan, there's trouble." "What's happening, Minato-kun?" Kushina asked her husband. The demon has broken into our village and is attacking us. Oh no, which one? Gasped Kushina. The Kyuubi, said Minato gravely. Kushina was shocked when she heard that not just any demon, but the most powerful one known so far. Her former tenant, she remembered, after giving birth that the Kyuubi broke out of the weakened seal and for some reason attacked the village. What do we do, Minato-kun? Kushina asked, afraid for her son. There is a forbidden jutsu I can use to defeat it, but I have to create another Jinchuriki. This jutsu is called Shiki Fuijin. It summons the Shinigami and seals away the demon into the person's body. Minato looked down. The price. The soul of the caster. But Minato-kun, whatever person the Kyuubi is sealed within could die from overload of chakra. Kushina protested. Not a newborn child. Their chakra coils have yet to develop and could develop along with the demon's power. No. I know what you have planned, Minato-kun. I won't allow it. Kushina's eyes widened. She realized only Uzumaki could hold back the fox. She held Naruto closer to her. I refuse to allow you to use our own son as the Jinchuriki. I was the previous Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi. I know of all the pain he'll go through. Please, Kushina-chan. There's no choice. The Yondaime knew his wife well, and once she made up her mind there was no changing it. One of the reasons he fell for the beautiful, fiery, redhead. But now wasn't the time for her. Once the village came first. Choosing the village over your own family, what an a-hole. No. I won't allow it. But she felt tired after giving birth a few hours ago, and still recovering from losing her tailed beast. Kushina then activates her Uchiha Bloodline 5. Tomo spun in her piercing red eyes. The red-haired Kunoichi was exhausted, and then her Sharingan deactivated, never mind activating her Uzumaki bloodline. The Mizumagami no Yami, or her Shinko Sharingan. The Shinko Sharingan is the pure manjutsu gained by witnessing the death of someone you care for by your hands or otherwise. Please, Minato-kun, don't do it. Kushina begged her husband, tears flowing. But Minato took Naruto from her arms. Kushina finally felt the effects of exhaustion and fell down on the bed. I beg you, Minato-kun, please don't. The daughter of Murata gave her husband one last pleading stare before sleep took her. I'm sorry, Kushina-chan. Minato looked down at his son. Sorry, Naruto, forgive your old man for what he has to do. Hibara and Itachi watched as their father disappeared in his signature technique. With their baby brother, Hibara broke down crying, and Itachi, though crying himself, tried to give his big sister some comfort. Hidden room of the hospital. The white-haired young man with yellow-slitted eyes, clad in a ripped white shirt and white pants, sensed something was wrong. He quickly rushed out of the room, out of the hospital, and saw the form of the Kyuubi. His eyes widened with shock. Chan. Why are you emitting such hatred? What's happened? He disappeared in a burst of speed, but winced as he felt a scar on his arm throb from his fight with her. Battlefield. Bodies littered the area, and more were seen as the Kyuubi continued its unexpected assault on the peaceful village. Soon Kyuubi sensed a new opponent and turned to face a massive toad half its height. The toad wore a black Yazuka jacket and had a knife strapped to his side. Minato stood on top holding a bundle. Yeah. Yondaime-sama is here. The ninja cheered as their hero made his entrance. Minato already told Sarutobi that Naruto was to be seen as the savior of the village. Sarutobi nodded sadly, knowing he couldn't talk Minato out of this. Minato performed hand seals before shouting. Shiki Fuijin. Soon the ghostly form of the Shinigami appeared. Hidden. Murata was shocked as her Sharingan laid onto the Shinigami. Why is he using a forbidden jutsu? Battlefield. The Shinigami, knowing what to do, removed the Kyuubi's soul and placed it within Naruto. Then it took Minato's soul and devoured him. In a bright flash it was all over. There was no one, just a crying baby Naruto. With a now reinstated Sandaime Hokage, he lifted up the boy and walked back into the village. Poor little Naruto, not even a few hours old, and you've already lost your father. No matter, you still have your mother and siblings, I hope. As if answering his call, Kushina arrived in a swirl. Her Sharingan was on full blast. Kushina surveyed the area, and when she saw Naruto, she instantly teleported in front of Sarutobi and practically snatched her son into her arms. Kushina looked down and saw the seal on his stomach. Naruto-kun, my little boy. Kasan will never leave you. She cried as she held him. She would protect her baby boy from everyone that threatened him. Kushina then teleported back to the hospital where Itachi and Hibara waited. Hibara snatched her baby brother into her arms and cried while hugging him. So Kasan did too, San, really? Itachi asked his mother. Yes. He did, said Kushina, having a sad look on her face. How could you, Minato-kun? No. Just Minato, you are a bastard. How dare you? How dare you subject my little boy to this life? Kushina didn't know what she saw in that man, but the only things good from being with him were Itachi and Naruto. Kushina began to feel a new hatred for Minato for what he did. Kushina then took Naruto in her arms and looked at him. Naruto-kun, I will never allow anyone to hurt you. Your Kasan will protect you. Kushina knew her old home of Uzushiogakure was destroyed, so she would take the Namikaze compound. Kushina spoke, "Itachi-kun, Habara-chan, let's go home." Itachi and Habara both nodded. But then an Uchiha officer appeared and used his Sharingan. "Sorry Kushina-sama, but your son and stepdaughter come with us." He knocked her out with a quick chop to the neck. He then knocked out Itachi and Habara, taking them to the Uchiha compound. Battlefield. A young man was seen standing on one of the buildings that was in the Kyuubi's attack. He then felt the remnants of the Kyuubi's chakra enter his body. He groaned as the Yauki began mixing with his own demonic aura. His white hair gained red streaks and his yellow eyes turned orange. The teen spoke, "Ugh, have to get back to the hospital." He quickly took off, feeling the chakra changing him. 7 years later, Namikaze compound. Naruto was happily raised by his mother Kushina, and boy was she protective if anyone even attempted to harm him. Kushina tortured them in ways that even frightened Mitarashi Anko. Naruto loved his mother very much, and she loved him too, even more than he or she both realized. She still refused to tell him about his father, just that it's his father's fault for his outcast status in the village. Kushina now completely despised Minato for what he did to their little boy. Naruto then woke up after a great night's sleep. Naruto's hair was longer than shoulder length, and now was a reddish blonde color. "Ah, what a great sleep I had." He then went downstairs and headed toward the kitchen. "I wonder what Kachan has cooking." He smelled his favorite food, ramen. He instant zoomed down so fast he almost looked like he used his grandmother's teleportation ability. Kushina was clad in a blue dress and apron. She was cooking ramen. Soon she turned to see her little boy in the room waiting. The Uzumaki matriarch smiled at her son, "Morning Naru-chan." She was a very protective and loving mother. If anyone even glanced at her son wrong, she tortured and beat them within an inch of their lives. The ones that hurt him she killed. "Morning Kachan," said Naruto happily. Kushina soon set the table, and the two Uzumaki got a large plate of ramen and started eating after they were done. "Hey Kachan, can I help you clean the dishes?" asked Naruto. The young boy always wanted to help his mother clean. Kushina hugged Naruto. "There is no need Naru-chan, after all that's what this bloodline of ours is for." She used the Mizumagami to clean their dishes in the sink by manipulating the water. After she was done, it was time to go to the academy. This was Naruto's first year at the Ninja Academy. Kushina then led her little boy to the academy. The two Uzumaki walked toward the academy. Several civilians tried to be brave and glare at Naruto, only to cower as Kushina glared at them sternly, and with a bit of kai they looked away. "Damn you Minato, do you see what you've done? My baby is an outcast because of your actions. I warned you this might happen. I know better than anyone in this village the pain of being a Jinchuriki." Kushina tightened her grip on her son slightly but made sure not to hurt him. Soon the academy came into view. Several other kids were there with their parents. Naruto hid behind his mother. Kushina understood why and hugged her son. "Don't worry Naru-chan, you'll be fine." She made a mental note to threaten those other parents and the teachers. "Hello Kushina-sama, and this must be your son." Naruto. A chunin came up. He knew about the Kyuubi. It meant nothing to him. He knew the difference between a demon and its container. "Hey kid, welcome to the academy. I have a feeling you'll do great." The man smiled at Naruto. Kushina smiled. "I leave my dear Sachi, Naru-chan in your hands," but then her smile turned dark and menacing. Her eyes seemed to glow a faint red. Faint wisps of red chakra began hissing off her body. Even though the Kyuubi is now inside Naruto, traces of its power remain within Kushina. "However, remember this chunin, my little Naru-chan means everything to me. If anything should befall him, then the academy, no, the entire village shall be held responsible, and you wouldn't want to get me angry, would you?" Kushina released some powerful killing intent at the man. "Yikes, I've heard of overprotective parents, but to actually threaten us. What have you put your family through Minato?" The chunin thought, shaking at the killing intent. No, don't worry Kushina-sama, I'll make sure the teachers treat him right." "I'm glad we had this little conversation, thank you." Kushina's smile became light again. Kushina then knelt down, hugged Naruto, and kissed him on the forehead. "I'll see you later Naru-chan." Naruto hugged his mother. "See you later Kachan." They parted. Kushina disappeared in a whirlpool. "Shunshin. Now you'll be in Iruka's class, he's the best teacher we have here at the academy." The man led Naruto inside. Soon they came to the classroom. Iruka was waiting for the other students to arrive. He turned to see his fellow chunin with a long-haired boy with whisker marks on his face. His friend Mizuki, who he hadn't noticed yet, sneered darkly at the boy. Mizuki had lost his mother in the Kyuubi attack and instantly hated Naruto the minute he saw the boy walking around with Kushina. He foolishly believed Naruto was the Kyuubi, along with several other people in the village. "This boy is the container of the Kyuubi, the very beast that took my parents away, but he seems nice, I'll give him a chance." "Hello, and what is your name?" said Iruka. "I'm Uzumaki Naruto." The boy exclaimed. "I'm Yamino Iruka, I'll be your teacher for your academy experience Naruto." Iruka then saw Mizuki. "Oh Mizuki, introduce yourself to Naruto." Mizuki smiled, but Iruka could see visible hatred in his eyes. "It's nice to meet you Naruto." I'll be assisting Iruka and teaching you kids. My name is Mizuki. Soon the other students arrived. They were civilian children and children from the various ninja clans. Naruto looked at a girl with midnight blue hair and lavender eyes. She wore a white jacket with blue jeans. The girl looked like she'd jump at the slightest contact. He then saw a girl with a red outfit and long pink hair. She's cute. The boy blushed. The blue-haired girl with lavender eyes saw Naruto and instantly blushed. Naruto-kun. She had been secretly watching him since he saved her from being kidnapped when she had turned 3. She poked her index fingers together nervously. The pink-haired girl saw Naruto and remembered what her mother told her. She thought, Mom wants me to become friends with him. Soon Naruto comes over to the pink-haired girl. Hi. I'm Uzumaki Naruto. Hello Naruto-kun, I'm Harino Sakura. The girl blushes at how cute he is. Naruto asked, Sakura-chan. Who's the blue-haired girl? He pointed to her. Sakura smiled, oh she's the heiress of the Hyuga clan Hyuga Hinata, she's really nice. Naruto-kun just shy. Naruto smiled, I'll go over and say hi. The blonde boy then walked over to the blushing blue-haired girl. Naruto introduces himself, hi I'm Uzumaki Naruto. Hinata blushed and fainted muttering, Naruto-kun. Okay she fainted. Weird but she's cute too. Hey kid, an arrogant voice said, why are you talking to my Hinata? The boy with dark brown hair and fang marks on his face walked up. He had a little white puppy at his side. Namikaze compound. Kushina suddenly felt a deep ache in her heart like someone was trying to take her precious boy away from her. Her heart felt stabbing pain at the thought of a girl falling for him and taking him away from her. Kushina clenched her fists, I won't let anyone take my Naru-chan from me. He's mine. Kushina still hasn't realized yet that she's falling for her own son. She will deal with anyone who tries to harm her little boy. Academy. The wild boy spoke, listen Blondie, I think it's best to lay down some ground rules. I'm the alpha male. Naruto was confused, alpha male. The feral boy finished, so anyway I'm Inyazuka Kiba and I rule this school. The little dog barked in agreement. The voice spoke from the back, you rule this school. Get real Kiba team. Kiba turned and glared at a boy with long white hair with red streaks and orange, his own yellow mixed with Kyuubi red eyes. He had blue marks on his face, his pupils were slitted, his nails were sharp, black, and were more like claws. This boy was the oldest one at the academy. He looked to be 12 years old. He is Gensuke Taisho, an Inugami Yakai, the son of a legendary demon lord. He had been changed by the remnants of Kyuubi's chakra into a Inugami Kitsune Yakai fusion. He is a Yanbi Four Tails. Gensuke sneered at Kiba, you aren't the alpha male of anything. Kiba sneered back, oh yeah Gensuke team. Gensuke bared his fangs and snarled, watch it Kiba team or you just might lose your head. Kiba snarled back baring his own fang like canines, bring it on. Iruka yelled sternly, hey. No fighting without my permission. Both boys nodded, yes Iruka-sensei. Iruka smiled, good now. He then got a book entitled History of Konohagakure. Iruka explained, alright for our first day we're going to discuss our village's proud history. Naruto groaned in his mind, history. Boring. The entire class groaned visibly. Gensuke stifled a yawn, oh boy, why did I wait until now to enter the ninja academy? Skipping the history lesson boring. Naruto, Shikamaru, and Gensuke were fast asleep, zzzzz. Iruka grew annoyed, grrr wake up you bakas. He grabbed his eraser and threw it at Naruto, Naruto raise and shine. The eraser was suddenly caught by the sleeping blonde who threw it right back onto the backboard, shocking everyone. Sasuke thought, no way, not even Iniki or Ni-san are that guarded. Sakura blushed while eyeing the blonde Naruto-kun. The girl in the back was eyeing Gensuke. She had long white hair with red, yellow, blue, sandy yellow, and black mixed in. She wore an all-black outfit that did nothing to hide her developed figure. She is the heiress to the Niji clan and wielder of the Kyuubi high elemental bloodline. Her name is Niji Hikari, however unlike her name suggests she is not very light in attitude or heart. She is one of the Ok girls going to Gensuke. She is 10 years old, the oldest girl in the academy. She refused to pass her previous years. Her grades were excellent. She was the smartest and most talented of all the kunoichi in the academy. Hikari licked her lips while eyeing the Inugami Kitsuki Yakai, Gensuke-kun soon you will be mine. A seductive smirk appeared on her face. Yamanaka Ino scoffed at the blonde boy, humph, so he can block an eraser. Sasuke-kun could do that much easier. Later that day. After the day was over Naruto headed home, but he was being watched by Uchiha Shisui and Fugaku. Fugaku spoke, Shisui you know what to do. Shisui nods, attack Naruto and get him to awaken his Sharingan right Fugaku-sama. Fugaku nods, yes good remember Naruto is still in Uchiha. I failed to get Kushina, but I won't fail to get both her sons and stepdaughter under my thumb. Hibara will make a fine wife for Sasuke. Shisui grinned yes sir. He shunshined away. With Naruto. The long-haired boy had a bad feeling about this, so he tried to hurry home, but then he bumped into someone. He looked up to see a man with messy black hair and spinning red eyes with 3 swirl marks in them. Naruto paled, especially when the man drew a kunai and flicked it at him. Naruto avoided it, but the man continued his assault. Soon Naruto was now tired and civilians then joined in the assault. He was hit by several objects. The boy then got hit in the leg with a kunai and he fell. Soon Shisui spoke, "It's over, kid." He went through hand seals, Kaiten. Kakaku no Jutsu. He breathed a massive ball of flames at the boy. Naruto paled as he watched. "It's over, sorry Ka-chan," but then something awoke within his eyes. Naruto suddenly realized everything began to look crystal clear. "What's going on? I can see." Naruto then widened his blue eyes, which turned red with 3 comma marks in a swirl pattern within both. Soon the boy avoided the jutsu and suddenly went through the hand seals himself without realizing it. Kaiten. Kakaku no Jutsu. The boy opened his mouth and fired an even bigger fireball at Shisui, who easily avoided it. Sadly, the same couldn't be said for the civilians. Shisui grinned while watching. "Excellent, the boy has awakened his Sharingan and fully matured too. Fugaku-sama will be pleased." Naruto's Sharingan deactivated. The boy was surprised. "Huh? What just happened?" Shisui spoke, "Hey kid." Naruto looked at him and then his mind felt strange as Shisui attempted his mind control technique like he did on Hibara, but then a sword appeared at his throat. Kushina, who had felt a bad feeling, managed to teleport here. Her own Sharingan, active 5 Tomo, spun in both of her burning red eyes. Kushina snarled, "What do you think you're doing to my Sachi Shisui?" She pressed her sword deeper against his throat. The Uchiha paled. Oh crap, he knew that he was no match for the daughter of Murata. Kushina was at Kage level herself. He soon disappeared. Kushina checked her son for injuries and used her own Sharingan to cleanse his mind from Shisui's attempted control. Naruto rubbed his head. Ka-chan, Ka-chan. He instantly hugged his mother, crying. Kushina wrapped her arms around her son. "Oh Naru-chan. I was so worried when you didn't come straight home." The 2 Uchiha Uzumaki went home. Kushina developed a new hatred for the clan. She made a vow to never allow any pure-blooded Uchiha near her son again except his grandmother, Mikoto, and his own siblings who she can't find yet. 5 years later. It's been 5 years since the Uchiha massacre, and there's only a small group of Uchihas alive today. Naruto, Itachi, Hibara, Mikoto, Sasuke, Kushina, and other Uchiha female, and Murata. Also 5 years since Shisui tried to manipulate Naruto into joining their little coup. Itachi joined his grandmother's organization known as Akatsuki to keep watch over his little brother Naruto. After he killed Shisui, Hibara was released from his control. Sasuke had become an arrogant brooding brat. Since that night he thinks he's invincible, and his ego is only boosted by his number of fangirls. Except for certain girls. Haruno Sakura, Hyuga Hinata, and Niji Hikari and her younger sister Nijiyuki. Naruto had been trained by his mother in using his Sharingan and Mizugami. He became good friends with Ginsuke. They were like brothers. Naruto, Ginsuke, and Sasuke are the 3 strongest boys at the academy, with Kitsuke top rookie, Naruto second top rookie, and Sasuke third strongest. However, according to their grade, Sasuke and Kitsuke were tied for Rookie of the Year. Naruto was dead last due to the academy focusing more history than practical skills. Hibara moved in with them, refusing to marry Sasuke and to make up to her true little brother what she missed. Another Uchiha female moved in with them, an older cousin of theirs called Kahaku, and oh boy was she possessive and obsessive with Naruto. Kahaku is 15 years old. So it's just Sasuke and his mother living at the Uchiha compound. Mikoto tried to get her son to open up, but it's no use, he's too far gone, so Mikoto gave up and just tried to give her son the love and guidance he needs to have him get over the pain of losing his father. Namikaze compound. Naruto yawned and stretched his arms. Ah boy, what a good rest. He then got up and went downstairs only to be glumped by a happy Kahaku, her large breasts pressed against his face. Kahaku had long dark blue-black hair with purple streaks in it. Her eyes were brighter obsidian than the other Uchiha. Her hair covered her right eye. She wore a black shirt and skirt that was a little short, revealing her long legs and a small peak of her beep. Also her shirt had a V-cut shape, revealing some of her ample cleavage which Naruto's face was being pressed against. Her finger and toenails were painted red, her lips were gorgeous strawberry pink. Kahaku cried out, "Naruto-kun." She absolutely loved him to the point of obsession. Naruto blushed, "Hey Kahaku ni-chan." The older Uchiha girl giggled, "Oi, I told you Naruto-kun, call me Ko-chan or Haku-chan." She glumped him tighter, pressing his face deeper into her cleavage. Then Suki chuckled, "Yo morning Naruto." The Inugami Kitsune was greatly amused by all this. Naruto mumbled due to his mouth being muffled by Kahaku's breasts, "Morning Aniki." Soon the whole family sat down to a good meal prepared by Kushina. As they ate, Kushina gave a jealous angry glare at Kahaku. Kushina snarled in her mind, "Who does she think she is? Naru-chan is mine," she thought possessively. The Uzumaki Namikaze had clenched her fists in anger, resisting the urge to torture the girl. The urge was really strong. Kushina's eyes flickered into her Sharingan before returning to their normal gray, their violet but appear to be gray, color and back again. After they finished breakfast it was time to head to the academy for team placements. The Haku giggled as she led Naruto away, much to Kushina's ire. Naruto sighed and said, "See you later, Ka-chan." And Suki followed them while chuckling with amusement. Kushina grumbled something about stupid Sachi stealers and Sachi is mine. Then used Shunshin and headed to the Jonin meeting. Academy. The three roommates soon made it to the academy where Kiba was harassing Hinata again. This time he actually ordered Akamaru to hold her down for him. But then Kiba got sent flying by a fist. It was Naruto. Kiba hit the wall and was unconscious. Naruto was pissed. "Kiba, team Hinata-chan doesn't like you in that way." Hinata gasped and blushed pink. "Naruto-kun called me Hinata-chan." She then poked her index fingers together. Akamaru whimpered and whined, lowering his head in a submission posture. Naruto then walked over to the young Hyuga. "You okay, Hinata-chan?" He gently placed one hand on her forehead to check her temperature as she was turning bright red. Hinata blushed deeper and nodded, "Yes, thank you, Naruto-kun." Naruto smiled softly, "Sure thing, Hinata-chan." Hinata blushed even deeper. If that was possible, she willed herself not to faint. Soon Sakura arrived and glomped Naruto, "Naruto-kun." She had trained hard just for him, and it was showing. Sakura, Hikari, and Hinata were the strongest kunoichi in the academy, with Hikari and Sakura now tied for kunoichi of the year and Hinata a close second. Naruto blushed at the contact, "Hey Sakura-chan." He was in shock at how strong Sakura's hug was. The Haku clenched her fist while watching, "Damn you, Haruno." The Uchiha girl was pissed at how close the Haruno heiress was getting to her Naruto. Hinata wished she had the confidence to hug Naruto without fainting. Soon Mr. Big Shot himself arrived in his usual cool way with his hands in his pockets, acting like he's king of the world. The Haku rolled her eyes. If he was invincible he would already have his Sharingan active. Kahaku already had her Sharingan active and it was fully complete. She had awakened it at age 7. She despised Sasuke because he kept flirting with her, saying they could be the founders of a new Grand Uchiha clan. The Haku inwardly snorted at Sasuke's foolishness toward her. "If I'm going to revive the clan with anyone it's going to be with Naruto-kun." Sakura scoffed, "If he thinks he can impress me with that attitude he has another thing coming." Sakura despised Hyugaku's son because of his own arrogance and ego. They would get him killed. Ami and Yamanaka Ino, Sasuke's biggest and most annoying fangirls, came in and glomped him together of course. Sasuke groaned as they began chatting about him, then they start arguing. Soon Iruka arrived, bandaged from the night before when Mizuki tried to steal the forbidden scroll. Iruka spoke, "All right my ex-students, now I will divide you into teams with a Jonin sensei." Gensuke had disappeared, leaving behind a clone in his place. Ino and Ami prayed that they were in Sasuke's squad. Sakura thought, "I know they'll place me with Naruto-kun, I just know it. They better put me with Naruto-kun." Shanro. The pink-haired girl clenched her fists, hoping that she was on his team. Sasuke sneered, "TCH teams will only slow me down." Hinata gazed at Naruto, "I hope I'm with you, Naruto-kun." Hikari looked at Gensuke seductively, "Gensuke-kun will be the best team around." Ami and Ino gazed at Sasuke, "Sasuke-kun will be on my team." They both thought that at the same time. Hokage office. Sarutobi stared down 6 Jonin, "Alright Jonin, it is time to suggest what genin you want on your squads and why." Asuma Hiruzen's son spoke, "I'll take Nara Shikamaru, Yamanaka Ino, and Akamichi Choji to train the second generation Ino Shikacho squad." Sarutobi nods, "Noted, now the rest of you." The beautiful woman with wavy black hair and red eyes, reminiscent of the Sharingan, minus the comma marks, stepped up. She wore an outfit which looked like it belonged in a first aid kit. It was basically a bunch red and white bandages. She spoke, "I'd like Hyuga Hinata, Taisho Gensuke, and Aburami Shino." Sarutobi raised an eyebrow, "Reasons?" The red-eyed Kunoichi spoke, "With Hinata's bloodline, Shino's insects, and Gensuke-kun's innate senses they could become the perfect tracking squad." Kurenai was the prodigy of the Yuhi clan. She was known as Konoha's Ice Queen due to the fact that she rejects every man that asks her out, also known as the Genjutsu Mistress due to her mastery over Genjutsu. Kurenai said the Inugami's name with an affectionate whisper. Her face was pink as she blushed slightly. Asuma heard her though and growled, "Kurenai, what could you possibly see in that demon?" He was jealous that a demon did what no man in the village could do, gain the interest and affection of the red-eyed Jonin. Kurenai was fully aware of her secret love's heritage as a demon and still accepted him. She was a third elder sister to Naruto. Kurenai's red eyes seemed to glow. She was pissed. Kurenai began to go through hand seals. Asuma. Hiruzen spoke, "Kurenai, calm down. Son, I'll deal with you later." He gave Asuma an angry glare. Hiruzen told Kurenai, "I'll note what you said to Kurenai next." Kakashi spoke, I'll take Uchiha Sasuke, Uzumaki Naruto, and Haruno Sakura. Hiruzen narrowed his eyes, why? Kakashi explained, I owe Obito also I need to train Sasuke to kill Itachi. There was a snort from Kushina. Kakashi narrowed his visible eye, you find something funny Kushina-sama. Kushina spoke, oh please like Fugaku's little brat has a chance against either of my Sachi. Kakashi I smirked, I'm sure I could make Sasuke powerful enough to kill Itachi and beat Naruto. The voice spoke, TCH. Yeah right. I'd pay to see that. Soon Ginsuke himself showed up in just a blur. Kurenai blushed when she saw him, Ginsuke-kun. Asuma sneered at him, this demon bastard doesn't deserve Kurenai. Kakashi glared at him, Sasuke is an Uchiha elite. He automatically outranks everyone. Ginsuke scowled, you seem to forget Kakashi that Naruto is half Uchiha. Kakashi I smirked again, that's right he's only half Uchiha that means he's no match for a pure-blood Uchiha. Kushina was pissed and stormed up to the silver-haired Jonin, about to beat him to a bloody pulp. But Ginsuke spoke, wait Kushina don't stoop to his level. Kushina took a few deep breaths and calmed herself, but it just pissed her off when people underestimated her son, maybe it was a bad idea to have him hide his true abilities during his academy education. Ginsuke then turned and disappeared in another blur, but before he did he spoke, you know Hokage-sama, I wouldn't mind being the assistant sensei of whatever team I'm on. The Sandaime chuckles and nods, I'll make sure that happens Ginsuke. He then scowled at Kakashi no way in hell he was giving him Naruto or Sakura after that little act cause from that Hiruzen noted that Kakashi would try and just use them to help the last Uchiha grow stronger. Hiruzen spoke, alright Kushina you go next. Kushina told him, I'd like my son, Ginsuke, and Haruno Sakura. Hiruzen asked her, tell me why. Kushina spoke, I'm the only one that can train Naruto in using his bloodlines properly also Sakura-chan has amazing chakra control, and Ginsuke knows us, since he lives with us, he can be the sensei when I go on missions, she will not use her private names for her Sachi in public at least not out loud. Hiruzen nods, I'll consider it. He glanced at the last one, now you Hibara. Over the years Hibara had become a gorgeous young woman inherited her mother's features, but her father's blonde hair color at the Uchiha compound she had the nickname the blonde Uchiha she is 25 years old now. Hibara spoke, I'd like to train my Itato, Hinata-chan, and Ginsuke-kun. For reasons of my own. Kakashi asked, why are you guys so interested in training the dope? You should instead train Sasuke he is the strongest rookie. Kakashi obviously had a death wish. Hiruzen shook his head muttering, idiot. Kushina, Hibara, and Kurenai all gaped before they gave Kakashi kai-filled glares. Kushina then practically flew at Kakashi with her Sharingan active before it morphed into a warped 9-bladed shuriken shape with 9 dot and bars in it the background was black and pattern itself was red, the Shinko Sharingan. She also had her sword drawn, it was a long powerful black mass-immune blade which gleamed in the light. But Guy and Asuma blocked her or at least tried to tried Kushina, even when not angry could match or even beat her former sensei Tsunade, in terms of physical strength. Remember Madara Murata is super strong, when Kushina got angry even Tsunade would cower in fear. Due to Kushina taking Tsunade's chakra and its technique to an all-new level to where she barely needs chakra to destroy things in a single strike. Kushina surpasses Tsunade in chakra strength. Asuma groaned, damn she's strong. He let out a girly scream as Kushina's foot slammed into his groin. I forgot that she's the widow of the fourth. They barely managed to hold the angry woman back and even then they were suffering from her immense chakra output. Kushina had even more than her mother and father combined due to being the ex-Kyuubi Jinchuriki and having the blood of an Uchiha and Uzumaki. Kushina struggled to break free though there was no need to. She was easily almost free to kill Kakashi. Hiruzen spoke, Kushina calm down, I promise Kakashi will be punished for his idiocy. Kushina stopped struggling and calmed herself. Kakashi spoke, Hokage-sama, why am I being punished just for stating a fact? Hiruzen smirked at Kakashi and spoke, remember you're saying Kakashi look for the secrets within the secrets. Kakashi looked confused, Yes. But what's that have to do with Naruto? The Sandaime glared at him, you'll learn Kakashi. Hiruzen then announced, alright I've decided the teams. He told the Jonin who accepted Kushina was especially happy she got the team she wanted. Her son, Kitsuke, and Sakura sure she had to train the Niji girl too, but she didn't mind. Kushina cheered, yes. I have Naru-chan. Take that Kakashi. The Namikaze head gave the former student of her late husband a smug look. Kushina inwardly sneered in disgust as she thought of that man he had cursed their son against her wishes. She despises him with every fiber of her being. Kakashi frowned and thought, I will be taking this up with the elders Hokage-sama. Academy. Iruka went down the teams, okay team 1 team 2, don't give F, he then called out, team 7. Uzumaki Naruto. Naruto lifted his head. Naruto Sakura. Sakura gasped before letting out a squeal of absolute delight and happiness, yay. I'm with my Naruto-kun. She then glumped him again. She had gotten real strong almost like Tsunade at this age. Naruto blushed, Sakura-chan. But he strained to breathe a little from the crushing hug. Sakura's really been training. He can tell she's more in shape than the other kunoichi in the academy, her arms have a bit of muscle on them, and she has way more energy than Ino or Ami like a true kunoichi, while still managing to retain her natural feminine looks. Hinata was watching wishing that was her hugging Naruto. Kahaku was so pissed she was emitting black flame-like chakra and gave a Sharingan included glare to the Haruno heiress. Even if you're on his team, Haruno Naruto-kun will be mine. Aisho Gensuke. Gensuke smiled, sweet. The Inugami couldn't ask for a better team. They were all close friends and he knew Sakura had it bad for Naruto. Iruka mentions, since we have an odd number of graduates, Team 7 will have a fourth member. The fourth member of Team 7 is Niji Hikari. Hikari cheered, yes. I'm on Gensuke-kun's team. The Niji heiress gazed at the Inugami and ignored the rest of Iruka's announcement. Iruka spoke, your sensei shall be Uzumaki Kushina. Naruto cheered, yada. We got Kachan as our sensei. Hinata was saddened, I won't be with Naruto-kun, then she sighed dejectedly. Iruka then called out, teammate. You got Hinata. Hinata looked to attention, yes. And Yuzuka Kiba. Kiba like magic woke up and cheered, yeah baby. We got Hinata-chan. He then practically raped her with his eyes, making the Hyuga girl shiver, but Kiba nearly pissed himself at the monstrous Kai Naruto directed at him. Aburami Shino. Shino remained silent. Iruka announced their sensei, your sensei is Yui Kurenai. Hinata liked the older Jonin, she was like a mother to her. Iruka then skipped Team 9, since that's Guy's youthful squad as the energetic Jonin puts it. He went straight to 10, Team 10. Yamanaka Ino. Ino looked hopeful that Sasuke would be called out next to last. Nara Shikamaru. Ino and Shikamaru both groaned. Shikamaru looked at Ino annoyed, great a troublesome woman, she'll probably try and take the stand as leader, women are so troublesome. Akimichi Choji. Ino groaned, not fat ass too. Choji was not any happier, but he was happy to have his best friend Shikamaru on the team. Iruka announced their sensei, you sensei is Sarutobi Asuma. He then spoke the last team, Team 11. Uchiha Sasuke. Sasuke doesn't react. Uchiha Kahaku. The older Uchiha girl was even more annoyed. Why did she have to be on the team of her arrogant loser cousin? She noticed he was gazing at her, so she released Sharingan included Kai at him. When she saw him avert his eyes in fright from her, she was satisfied. Kahaku started gazing at her nails, upset that Sakura was on Naruto's team and she wasn't, but she then brightened up remembering she lived with him. With that knowledge she just started looking at her nails again, but this time she was daydreaming of founding a much better, more hard-working Uchiha clan with the person she loved, even if he was 3 years her junior she didn't care. Ami. The purple-haired girl cheered, yes. I'm with Sasuke-kun. Ino and the other fangirls released Kai at the girl who gave them a smug look. Kahaku just ignored the embarrassment to the female race, knowing she'd probably end up dying right on the first mission. Iruka spoke, your sensei is hot Aki Kakashi. Kahaku rolled her eyes again, she didn't care much for the Kopi ninja. Uchiha Obito was her father, she blamed Kakashi for her father's death. Iruka nodded, checking his list, yup, that's everyone, you have an hour for lunch until you met your senseis. Everyone soon poured out of the academy and headed for lunch. Naruto, Gensuke, and Sakura all decided to head to Ichiraku's for lunch. They were joined by Hikari and Kahaku. Naruto introduced his team to the Ichirakas and they all became fast friends. Of course AM was jealous and got into a death glare battle with Sakura and Kahaku. An hour later. Everyone was waiting for their senseis to arrive. Hinata was gazing at Naruto, Kiba was babbling like an idiot, Akamaru was bowing in respect to Gensuke. Gensuke had his arms crossed and was leaning against the wall. Kahaku was hugging Naruto again and sticking her tongue out at Sakura, who grabbed Naruto's other side and returned the gesture. Ino and Ami were gazing at Sasuke dreamily. Sasuke was in his emo brooding pose. Soon 3 Jonin appeared. One was a gruff-looking man with a goatee and a cigarette in his mouth. He wore a Jonin vest, shirt, and black pants, but had a fire monk cloth over them. The other 2 were kunoichi of course, and Kiba drooled as he gazed at them. One had long black hair and red eyes. She wore a bandage-like outfit of red and white, the other was a gorgeous redhead who was clad in a black Jonin vest and had grey eyes. She also wore black pants and a red shirt underneath her vest, which didn't nothing to hide her assets. Her figure matched Tsunade. Kiba then spoke, wow, they're hot. The black-haired chick and that smoking hot redhead. I'll make them both my woman. Sasuke noticed the red-haired woman, she's beautiful, perfect for rebuilding my clan. Unfortunately for Kiba, the redhead happened to be Naruto's mother. Both women glared at the mutt boy who thinks he's their type. They both already have someone they want. Kushina gazed at her son, while Kurenai's gaze was on the older boy right beside him. Naruto and Gensuke both growled at Kiba, releasing massive amounts of chakra. Naruto then activated his Sharingan, which spun with hatred. Yuiro Inu. No offense, Aniki. Gensuke nodded, none taken. Naruto. That Inuzuka lost the right to call himself that after what he said. Naruto then glared at Kiba, that redhead is my mother. Gensuke flexed his claws, so Kiba, how do you want to die? Should I rip you to shreds in this form, or should I go into my true form and use you as a toy or eat you? Kiba paled and ran like hell, only to trip as Sakura stuck out her foot. Naruto smiled sadistically, shall we, Aniki? Gensuke grinned just as sadistically, let's. They both let out a battle cry, which in Gensuke's case sounded more like a roar, and charged the fallen Inuzuka. Kiba managed to get back up and ran out the academy with Naruto and Gensuke right on his tail. Kurenai and Kushina were satisfied as they watched the Inuzuka get chased. The rest of the teams just sweat dropped. True to their word, Gensuke and Naruto beat Kiba within an inch of his life. Gensuke then took the beaten Kiba to his home. The door opened to reveal Inuzuka Tsume, Kiba's hot busty mother. Her Jonin outfit did nothing to hit her assets. Her feral look only seemed to make her more exotic looking. Tsume grinned when she saw Kitsuke the dog. Mr. spoke, why hello Gensuke-kun, what brings you down here? She said his name in a sultry tone. She noticed her son knocked out and groaned, what did the brat did this time? Gensuke filled her in. Tsume was pissed at Kiba. Tsume spoke, Gensuke-kun, I assure you he will be punished. She then turned an angry glare on her son and growled, Brad, I will have words for you, tell Hiashi I send my deepest apologies. Gensuke nods, thanks Tsume-san. He gave the Inuzuka head a warm smile, making the Inuzuka matriarch whimper in desire. He soon turned and left. Tsume watched the Inugami go with deep desire. She knew exactly what he was and wanted to be a mate of his. Tsume then turned to face her perverted son, Kiba, I am disgusted with you. Why do you try to force Hinata to love you? Kiba scowled defiantly, because mother. I love her and want her as my mate. Tsume scowled down at her son, oh why did he have to inherit a combo of hers and his father's pride? Tsume spoke angrily, listen Kiba, what you have tried to do is immoral. As a woman myself I feel for poor Hinata. What you tried to do could shame and dishonor all women including me. She spoke sternly, this is your last warning Kiba, you keep this up and I will disown you and allow Gensuke-kun to kill you. Kiba paled, but even that wouldn't stop the stubborn boy. He'd get Hinata, even if he had to force himself on her. Once he attempts it he will be forever shamed. Team 7. After that whole mess they were all seated on the rooftop. Naruto, Gensuke, Sakura, and Hikari. Kushina was in front of them, okay guys, it's time to introduce yourselves. I already know 3 of you since Naru-chan is my son, the other lives with us, and Sakura-chan is over often. But for Hikari-chan let us introduce ourselves. Kushina then spoke, I'll go first. I am Uzumaki Uchiha Kushina. My likes are my Sachi and friends. My dislikes. Her eyes narrowed as she released Kai that frightened even Gensuke, An angry mother could scare even the Kyuubi, are all those who try to harm my Sachi. I loathe the Yondaime for what he did. She then returned to a light look, my dreams for the future. To marry and have a full family again. She gazed at Naruto with a blush. Kushina then points to him, your turn Sachi. Naruto grinned, hi. I'm Uzumaki Uchiha Naruto. My likes are Ka-chan, Sakura-chan, Hinata-chan, Kurenai-ni-chan and Aniki. I absolutely love ramen. I hate the 3 minutes that it takes to cook. I also despise the villagers and Sasuke team. Naruto then adjusted his headband, my dream. To create my own village and become the greatest Kage for my precious people so I can protect them. Kushina blushed from her son's speech, Sachi-kun, I will help you in any way. Sakura swooned, Naruto-kun is so cool. Gensuke smirked, I'll be by your side all the way Itaudo. Kushina smiled, very good Sachi. She then pointed to Sakura, your turn Sakura-chan. Sakura spoke, I'm Haruno Sakura. My likes are Naruto-kun, training, and my friends. My dislikes. The pink-haired girls look darkened, arrogant bastards, and fangirls. They give a bad name to all us kunoichi. Her look softened again, my dream is to marry Naruto-kun. She gave a loving look to Naruto, making the blonde blush. Kushina unnoticed clenched her fists, what's with all these women falling for my Naru-chan? She smiled, but if one were to look into her eyes, it would be a different story. Kushina spoke, thank you Sakura-chan. She then nodded to Kitsuke, you're next Gensuke. Gensuke introduced himself, I am Taisho Gensuke. I like my friends, and I enjoy eating meat. My dislikes are non-demonic cats, the jackass civilians, and the blind retards of this village. My dream is to watch Naruto become a Kage and find a certain vixen. Kushina nodded, good, and now you Hikari. Hikari spoke, I am Niji Hikari. My likes are a certain boy and plants. My dislikes are other girls who want to steal this boy away from me. She gazed at Kensuke with a blush as she said boy. Teammate. Kurenai sneezed thinking someone was talking about her. Kiba was playing the worried student, but Kurenai kicked him in the groin when he accidentally touched her. Hinata sneezed quietly and fainted muttering, Naruto-kun. Team 7. Kushina nods and explains about their true test which they'll take tomorrow. Now Naruto walks Sakura home and then after he sees her off then he and Gensuke head home. But then Naruto suddenly blanks out and Gensuke concerned gets dragged into the seal. Within the seal. Naruto woke up and found himself in a sewer of some kind, where am I? Gensuke was standing beside him, let's get going Naruto I have a strange feeling that this is your mind. The two then walked down the dimly lit corridor water dripped from the walls, why Naruto's mind looked like a dirty sewer was beyond them. Naruto then heard deep growling further ahead. Soon they came across a massive gate and on the lock was a paper strip with the kanji for seal on it, the cage pulsed red. The pair of massive crimson slit eyes opened and faced them. The monster spoke, come closer its voice was booming, yet Naruto could also hear a feminine tone to it too, showing that whatever demon that was in this cage was female. Naruto without fear moved up. The creature continued beckoning, closer Naruto kept coming. But Gensuke sensed the danger and pulled Naruto back just as a massive clawed hand crashed into the bars, the huge claws missing the boy by mere inches. The massive demon grinned, so this is my newest container huh? You look weak boy. But of course looks can be deceiving. An outline of the creature was seen created by the creature's orange-red aura. The outline of a massive fox creature. Its orange fur shimmered like flames with its incredible power. The demon's mouth was in a large grin revealing 2 rows of sharp shredding fangs. Its crimson slitted eyes were full of anger, sorrow, and hate. Then the lights turned on to fully reveal the massive demon fox. It was on its haunches the demon's fabled tail swished behind it. It had long ears from which a black stripe went down to its eyes forming a mask of darkness around them, its upper body was humanoid in nature. Its pawed hands were equipped with sharp claws larger than any human-made weapon. Its fangs could rip a human into pieces, but those were nothing compared to its 9 legendary tails, said to be capable of summoning tsunamis and crushing mountains in a single swipe. The fox demon spoke, why have you come here boy? And why do you smell similar to my previous container? Naruto was shocked, this is the Kyuubi no Yoko. He put 2 and 2 together also he wondered who its previous container was. Naruto quivered, then I really am a monster. He remembered when the villagers called him demon brat hell spawn and monster. He began to cry. Gensuke knelt down and hugged him. No. Don't you dare even call yourself a monster. Besides it's not so bad being a demon. Gensuke reminded him gesturing to his pointed ears and showed him the claws on his fingers. Gensuke also opened his mouth to show his own set of fangs. Naruto looked at him, Aniki. Gensuke smiled, it's okay kiddo, I'm here for you. Ugh. Enough with the sweet talk we have much to discuss kid. The Kyuubi rumbled slightly annoyed. Naruto growled, it's all your fault. Everyone except a few hate me because you're inside my body. The boy stormed up to the cage and pointed to the fox, you owe me fox. So for rent I'll take your chakra whenever I need it. Got it. The Kyuubi was silent before erupting into laughter, ah ha 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 ha. You must have either the biggest set of balls or smallest set of brains to disrespect me boy. I like you. Naruto and Gensuke both sweat dropped, okay. Naruto looked at the giant fox, so fox how did you get in here? The Kyuubi's eyes dimmed a little, do you really want to know kid? Gensuke spoke, yes Kyuubi, do tell how you ended up in here. The fox's red gaze turned to the silver-haired boy, who are you? A sense of familiarity hit the great kitsune. Gensuke bowed, I am Taisho Gensuke son of the Daiukai of the West, Inu no Taisho and Naruto's brother figure. The fox was shocked, Jin Gensuke-kun. The Kyuubi studied the young Daiukai he looked the same and smelled the same. Gensuke was surprised, Gensuke-kun. There's only person that calls me that Kyuubi will you turn into human form? The great 9 tails nodded and then it was surrounded by its chakra. The fox shrunk down into a human form. In place of the giant fox was a young woman about 19. She had long crimson hair that flowed past her waist and red eyes. She wore a red furisode kimono that showed off her very well-endowed breasts, which surpassed even Tsunade's. Her crimson eyes gazed at Gensuke. Naruto blushed having received the talk from his mother a few months ago after he accidentally found a book titled Uchiha Paradise. Gensuke was just frozen, Haim-chan. The woman then slipped through the cell bars and hugged Gensuke, Gensuke-kun. She sobbed while hugging him, you're alive. I thought this village had killed you, and that's why I attacked it. Naruto was shocked, Kyuubi's a girl. He nearly fainted at learning the strongest Bijuu was female. Gensuke looked at her, Haim-chan you attacked this village. Why? Oh you mentioned a previous container. Benham nodded, yes I attacked the village and. My previous container was Uzumaki Kushina. Densuke was shocked, Naruto's mother. She was your previous container. This was a surprise. Naruto was even more shocked, Kachan was a Jinchuriki. He felt his whisker marks, it explains why I was born with these marks on my face. Benham looked at Naruto and tackled him into a hug, oh Naruto-kun. I'm so sorry. Her 9 tails sprouted behind her, and one touched Naruto on the forehead, and another one touched Gensuke and channeled her Yauki so they could witnesses, here have a look for yourselves. Memory. Benham was coming home after being released from her Jinchuriki Uzumaki Kushina. She had long ruby red hair and crimson slitted eyes, she wore a red furisode kimono with sakura flowers and fox designs. Her slender feet were bare, yet never seemed to get dirty as she walked. She had a very well-endowed figure, bigger than Tsunade and was walking home to her family. She had heard that Gensuke her beloved had gone somewhere, but she didn't know where. She hoped he was okay. Benham blushed at the thought of him. But when she got to her home she discovered something horrifying. Her family was dead. The shocked woman instantly looked around for any survivors and found the dying form of her father. The current Kyuubi no Yoko, a title she was about to inherit, her mother, 3 younger brothers and 4 sisters were dead. The great demon fox was in true form, he was huge, bigger than a mountain or any summon. He had a deep gash in his side that even his near limitless power couldn't heal, he was on his good side, life slowly leaving his red slitted eyes. They gazed down on his second eldest daughter with love and sorrow. The Fox Lord smiled down sadly at his daughter, sorry Benham-chan. But your sister. Kurana did this to us. She finally became a Juubi. Benham was shocked, no way, that can't be true to Sama. The Kyuubi chuckled sadly, it's true Benham-chan. Goodbye my daughter, I love you. Then the great Kyuubi closed his eyes for the final time. Benham sobbed to the heavens, but then she felt a crushing pressure and turned to see her. Her eldest sister Kurana, the new Juubi no Kitsune. She appeared to be in her 20s. She had long red hair with streaks of black and evil crimson eyes. 10 crimson fox tails swished and twisted. She wore a red kimono with fox designs. It went down to her feet like her younger sisters. Her breasts were even bigger than her younger sisters. She had an evil smirk on her face, pitiful Amado. Benham cried, why One-san, why did you do this? Kurana spoke calmly, I did it to test my new powers. Benham was shocked, to test your powers? That's why you killed our family? Kurana smirked, oh about that cute Inugami lover of yours Gensuke. I ran into him a couple of days ago. Benham's red eyes widened, gee Gensuke-kun. The new Kyuubi then glared dangerously at her sister, what did you do to him? Her 9 tails sprouted from her back without tearing her kimono. What did you do? Kurana chuckled, oh we had a nice fight, and I must say for a 1 tail he had the power of 9 tails himself. He was a most wonderful opponent, as we fought I managed to get a nice little souvenir from his efforts. She revealed a scar on her stomach that Gensuke had managed to inflict on her, strong, smart, and really handsome too. He is definitely worthy of being your maid Amado, I approve. Benham then grabbed her sister's kimono crying and begging, but where is he? Tell me. Please One-san. Where is he? The new Kyuubi was on her knees begging her sister for knowledge on her beloved's fate, her crimson eyes were filled with tears. Kurana chucked again, I'll show you. She then placed one hand on her younger sister's forehead and implanted an illusion memory she had made. It showed Gensuke wounded from their battle being captured by Konoha ninja and dragged off to the village to be used to breed an army of Hanyu, with the village women and Kunoichi then being killed by the village afterwards. Benham's eyes were cloudy as her sister spoke to her, humans are selfish Amado, they kidnapped your mate to use his demonic powers for their own selfish goals. Go to Hai no Kuni and attack it, demand to have Gensuke returned to you. She then gave her sister a Konoha ninja headband to use as an sample to sniff them out. She had gotten the headband from a red-eyed young man she killed and then devoured. The boy was named Uchiha something, she never remembered the names of her meals. The dark 10-tailed vixen chuckled, you are the new Kyuubi now after all, little sister, I must go now. She then disappeared in a swirl of fire. Benham then stood up, her once crimson eyes now glowing an angry bloody red, her pupils were small slits. Then her 9 tails started to thrash wildly and her nails and teeth sharpened as her power began to surround her. Benham spoke in a very soft but angry tone, the ninja took him, they took my Gensuke-kun. They took Gensuke-kun away from me. She screamed, they took my Gensuke-kun. Her voice turned demonic with her tone being now raspier. She then screamed more as her Yauki surrounded her. Soon a black orb surrounded her, think whenever Naruto turns 4 tails in canon, the orb grew bigger and bigger until it exploded in a burst of crimson light, which soon faded to reveal a massive orange fox with 9 tails standing there. Benham stood there in her true form the size of a mountain, her tails lashing out angrily like whips. Her massive claws digging trench-like grooves into the ground, her orange fur shimmered from her own aura. She then lowered her head and sniffed around for any scent to lead her to Konohagakure. She then saw a snake-like man who smelled of Konoha soil. Her face then warped into a twisted dark snarl. Beniham roared, he will lead me to that village. Unknown to Beniham, her sister hadn't truly left yet. Kurana was watching the show from afar. Kurana smirked cruelly, that puny ninja village won't stand a chance against Miyamoto's rage. And once it's gone I'll rebuild it and become the ruler of all humans and demons. She then giggled, which became full-blown dark laughter. But the ninja. Orochimaru didn't know how he got here. He had just been sent by Sarutobi on an A-rank mission where he heard giant growls. He also felt the worst kai in his life. Orochimaru paled and shook, who's there? Then a massive shadow covered Orochimaru. The snake Sennin then looked up to see something out of a nightmare. It was truly horrifying. The Kyuubi no Kitsune. Orochimaru instantly summoned a snake, but the snake took one look at the massive fox and instantly dispelled himself before he was crushed by the fox's immense power or pawed hands. The giant fox roared, take me to Hai no Kuni this instant ninja now. Orochimaru was really scared now. He knew he had to run, but could he outrun a massive demon fox? He may be a shinobi, but this is the freaking Kyuubi for Kami's sake. The giant demon fox looked to be extremely angered as she was practically breathing kai and bloodlust in the form of the demonic mist-like substance drifting from her snarling maw. So Orochimaru had to tread cautiously. Beniham roared again in a truly frightening and angry tone. Shockwaves burst outwards from her roar. I won't ask you again ninja, lead me to Hai no Kuni or else. Orochimaru then took off for the hills. I must warn the village. He then sent chakra to his legs and ran like hell. Beniham growled, fine, if that's how you want to play it, then I'll follow you. Then a strong man with long black hair and wearing red armor appeared. He used Kuchiha's no jutsu to send Beniham to Konohagakure. Memory end. Densuke was shocked. He knew Kurana was insane, but to do something like that. Forcing an illusion on her own sister, his mate, and making her attack innocent humans. That was despicable and inhumane even by demon standards. The Inuyagami's fists clenched so hard that his claws dug into his palms, making them bleed. Densuke thought that witch. Because of her Haim-chan ended up sealed a third time. Gensuke's demonic aura began to surround him. Then he let out a feral scream, damn you Kurana. His power exploded outwards, making Naruto fly into a wall. Beniham had to shield her eyes with her hands and protect her body with her tails. Beniham was shocked, Jin-kun has become so powerful. When Isan told me that is just a one-tailed Jin-kun had the strength to match a Kyuubi. So how many tails does he have now? She had been so relieved to see him safe that she didn't notice the number of tails he had. Densuke then grew out all his 6 tails behind him and they thrashed back and forth angrily. I knew I should have killed her when I had the chance. We were evenly matched even though I was only in a chibi at the time. Beniham was completely shocked to see 6 tails behind her beloved. She shook from the crushing force of his power. Jin-kun has 6 tails now. Yet it feels like he has even more. Naruto was amazed, unreal. Iniki is actually stronger than Kyuubi. Soon Gensuke calmed himself. I can't believe she actually did that to you Haim-chan. He looked down, I'm sorry. Beniham smiled, no I'm sorry Jin-kun, I should have realized my sister was only showing an illusion to me about your fate, so what really happened? Densuke smiled and had a slight blush, I'll explain after our battle. Flashback. Densuke with torn clothes groaned as he tried to move, ugh damn it, I let my guard down, and she sends me flying from a chakra shockwave. He then strained and struggled to keep moving, but then he collapsed a few good feet from Konoha's gates. The wound on his arm was bad. It was dripping blood, leaving a trail for enemies to follow to find him. Densuke then suddenly felt something healing him and looked up to see a blonde woman with brown eyes and a well-endowed figure that nearly matched Beniham's, kneeling over him with her hands on him, and they glowed with green chakra. With them was a younger black-haired woman holding a pig. The blonde woman was clad in a grey shirt, black pants, and green jacket. The younger woman was clad in a black kimono with long sleeves and a white sash. The pig even had a necklace and a red jacket on. The Inuyagami raised an eyebrow at the strange sight of an animal wearing clothes. Tsunade and Shizune had just left Konoha when their pig Taunton smelled blood and gave them a warning wink that there was someone hurt now, since the deaths of her lover and younger brother Tsunade had quit medicine, yet some strange force, Kami, told her she'd regret not healing this particular person, so she and Shizune then found the fallen Gensuke. Shizune of course blushed at his appearance. Tsunade sama, he's hurt. She then mentally added, I wonder if he's taken. Tsunade nods and performs the healing jutsu. She too has a blush on her face. I don't why, but I feel like this person could help me. Tsunade then placed her hands on him and blushed more at how muscular he felt. She began healing him. She knew what he was. She had read about the different types of demons. Densuke sat up feeling her touch. Huh? Tsunade spoke, easy now, I'm just healing your wounds. She soon finished but couldn't fully heal the wound on his arm. There was a visible scar. Gensuke turned to her and bowed, "Thank you, I'm Taisho Gensuke." The blonde woman introduces herself, "I am Senjutsu Nade." The younger woman also introduced herself, "And I am Shizune." Gensuke then looked at Tsunade, "Why do you wear an illusion?" Tsunade looked down. Gensuke smiled, "Since you helped me, I'll help you. I can perform a demonic ritual to make you younger again." Tsunade's eyes lit up, "You'd do that for me?" Gensuke nodded, "Yup, it's only fair that I return the favor." He then spoke with a blush, "But it will involve me marking you." Tsunade blushed deeply, having read on demonic rituals, but hey, Tsunade wouldn't mind, he was pretty cute, "I'm okay with it, Gensuke-kun." Gensuke grinned, "Alright, let's begin." He then removed her jacket and then bit down on her neck, sending some of his demonic energy into her. Tsunade felt the strange yet warm energy enter her chakra system. Soon, she felt her illusion fading, yet she still looked the same. Also, her chakra was nearly triple the amount. Tsunade thanked Gensuke by hugging him tight, "Thank you, Gensuke-kun." Gensuke was fine since he was a demon, he had unnatural strength too. She then did something that shocked Shizune, she actually kissed Gensuke right on the lips. Shizune cried out, "Tsunade-sama, that is completely unnecessary in public." But she had to admit she was jealous. Tsunade didn't care what her apprentice said, she was too busy feeling the warm taste of Gensuke's lips on her own. Gensuke thought, "Wow, and I thought Haim-chan was a good kisser." Soon the two parted. Tsunade smiled, "I guess this means I'm your mate now, huh?" Gensuke nodded, "Yup, it does, Tsuhaim." Tsunade blushed at the nickname that she hated Jiraiya to use, but when her new mate used it, it made her truly feel like a princess. Gensuke then explained to her about how he was allowed to have more than one mate, but would love them all equally. Tsunade accepted the terms, he was allowed to have up to 7 mates, and she was his second one. Tsunade then led her new mate to Konoha and spoke, "I can't stand to be in this place, so I look forward to seeing you again, Gensuke-kun." She then kissed him again before turning and leaving with Shizune. Gensuke just stood there still feeling the warmth of her lips on his, "She's really good. She might give Haim-chan some competition for alpha female." Flashback end. Enahem was amazed that her mate managed to find his second woman to be in his harem. Who would have thought he'd go for older women that much? Then again, she is older than him herself. She was close to 9,300, about 9,280, and he was only 6,200. Enahem hugged Naruto, "Oh Naruto-kun. I was just so confused and upset thanks to my sister's illusion that I just snapped." She was crying. Naruto spoke, "It's okay, Ni-chan, you were blinded thanks to that witch who calls herself your sister. And thank you for telling me about Kachan being your previous container." Enahem then hugged Gensuke while crying even more. He returned the hug, "Haim-chan, it's okay, you heard Naruto." But the vixen continued sobbing in her mate's arms, feeling like she let him down. Gensuke growled as he saw every beating Naruto had gone through, even with his mother Kushina. Some people had managed to slip by her and attack him, and boy did they attack him. Gensuke snarled in rage, "I'll kill them. I don't care what Sarutobi says, these things are blinded by their own pathetic pasts. They deserve to die. They want a demon, they got one." Soon he and Naruto felt themselves being forced from the seal. Enahem and Gensuke shared a kiss before he was evicted from the seal. Enahem then decided to check Naruto's DNA and was shocked at what she read. She spoke, "No way. Naruto-kun is descended from Juubi-sama." Next morning. Naruto woke up and stretched, he had a great sleep and realized it was the next day. It's time for their genin test. Naruto went downstairs and found breakfast already waiting for him. He soon scarfed it down and then headed out to the training ground. The compound then shimmered and was hidden by a genjutsu. As Naruto was walking, people saw him and sneered. When Kushina was around, no one would dare try anything, but when Naruto was alone, they would treat him lower than dirt. One man spoke coldly, "How dare that thing try to act human?" The woman then walked up to Naruto, "I'll teach him a lesson." But then they heard the growling of a demon. Naruto outwardly ignored them, but on the inside was hurting really bad. Enahem informed him, "Naruto-kun, hurry to the training grounds, I think Gensuke-kun is going to teach them a lesson." Naruto kicked into overdrive heading for the training ground. The civilians all saw a flash of silver before they all dropped dead to the ground. The young man with long crimson streaked silver hair and crimson golden eyes stood there next to the dead civilians. His sword was coated in their blood. He then flicked the blood off his sword, not wanting to taint his blade with their foul blood. No wonder his elder brother Sessamaru hated humans. Gensuke sneered, "The Hokage has given me and Kushina full reign to kill all those who are a threat to Naruto." He then glared coldly at the frightened villagers who witnessed the horrifying scene. They all ran for their homes. Time to head to the training ground. Gensuke vanished in a burst of speed. A moment later. A large silvery red fox with 10 tails trailing behind it was standing over the dead humans. Then it lowered its head and began devouring the corpses. Soon they were nothing but bone. Piranha smirked and licked the blood and meat off her lips. Ninja tastes strange. She noticed the blonde boy, he was emitting some familiar yaki. Her younger sisters, but she was struggling on the inside. She didn't even know how this hollow took over her mind and actions, but it did, and she struggles against it each day. It took over her and made her kill her own family and manipulate her own younger sister into attacking Konohagakure, especially after she had just been freed from her Jinchuriki, only to end up sealed a third time. Piranha could also smell her sister's scent on the boy. My Yamato is sealed within that child. But how could Ninja seal someone as strong as my little sister? Among us 9 kids. Benham had a lot of talent and potential, even more than me. She then took the form of the civilian woman she devoured earlier. She then secretly followed Naruto. I wonder how many of her tailed stages he can use. I must test this boy, maybe he can help me get this hollow out of me. It's making me commit heinous acts. Training Ground 7. Soon Naruto made it and got lumped by Sakura. Ginsuke was there and Hikari was as close to him as possible. Within the seal, Benham fumed. Why that little bitch? Benham cursed the fact that she was sealed right now, otherwise she'd teach that little girl a lesson. Soon Kushina arrived in a whirlpool shunshin wearing her Jonin outfit. She smiled. Hello guys, it's time to begin. Ginsuke walked up to Kushina and stood beside her. Ginsuke explained, I'm not just your teammate, I'm the second sensei of this team. Naruto was amazed and happy. We have 2 senseis. The blonde leapt for joy. Yes. We have both Kachan and Aniki. Kushina giggled at her son's antics. Calm down, Sachi. She then told them, you must fight us, we will test your ninja skills to see where you're at. Ginsuke spoke, if you can manage to even land a blow on us then you pass. The 3 genin then got into fighting stances. Ginsuke explained, Kushina and I will both come at you, so you must try to hit at least one of us. Naruto grinned, I'm ready, Kachan. He then activated his Sharingan, 4 Tomo spun in each eye. Sakura then drew a sword she kept hidden. Hikari then formed orbs of fire in her hands. Ginsuke spoke, Hajime. Soon the battle began. Naruto went straight for his mother, having sparred with her before. Ginsuke, Sakura, and Hikari. Ginsuke smirked, so it's 2 against 1, This will be fun. Sakura then lifted her sword to her face and spoke its first release, Scatter Senbonzakura. Her blade glowed pink and then slowly vanished, leaving nothing but the hilt. Sakura's clan has a bloodline called Senbonzakura. It has 1 first level release and 4 second level releases. When not in use, it is in the form of a sword somewhere on the user's body. Sakura then waved the hilt. Ginsuke leapt back as a small storm of cherry blossoms crashed where he stood. Destroying the ground. Sakura cursed, Shanaro. I missed. Hikari then shot a stream of fire out of her hands, and Ginsuke avoided it. Ginsuke was amazed, wow, you 2 are good. Truly worthy of being Kunoichi. He then avoided another attempt by Sakura's petal-like blades at attacking him. Sakura then reformed her blade and then turned it toward the ground. Get ready, Ginsuke-sensei. She then let go of her sword, causing it to drop, then it sunk into the ground, like if it was in water, and ripple-like waves of energy came from the spot the sword sunk into. Ginsuke raised an eyebrow. Bankai, 1,000 giant swords rose up on each side of the girl, scatter Senbonzakura Kagayashi. The swords then became a storm of Sakura petals which surrounded their wielder, ready to attack or defend. Hikari then formed 2 swords, 1 in each hand. One made lightning and the other made of fire. The Niji Eris purred, I hope you're ready, Ginsuke-kun. Ginsuke then drew his own sword. It was formed from his body, go for it. He sent some energy into his sword, making it glow an eerie red. Soon the 2 charged each other, and Sakura sent her blade storm at Ginsuke. When the attacks collided, it created an explosion of energy. Naruto and Kushina. Naruto then went through hand seals, fire release. Phoenix Age fire technique. He shot multiple fireballs at his mother. Kushina just created a water wall which took the fireballs head on. She smirked, nice try, Sachi, but you'll have to do better than that. Naruto groaned, aw man. I'll get you yet, Kachan. The long-haired crimson blonde then charged at his mother. Kushina then dropped her water shield to meet her son head on. The 2 soon traded blows. Naruto managed to get a shot in, managing to strike his mother in the stomach. But it didn't hurt her too much. Kushina smiled full of pride, you pass, Sachi. Ginsuke, Sakura, and Hikari. When the light cleared, it showed the 3 facing each other. Ginsuke smirked as he stood up, but then he collapsed to 1 knee. He had a nice gash on his back which began to heal instantly. Ginsuke whistled, phew. Looks like you pass. The whole group then rejoined. Sakura hugged Naruto, Naruto-kun, we passed. Naruto grinned, so did I, Sakura-chan. Then they separated. Kushina was clenching her fists with rage after the hug. She looked like she'd snap and beat Sakura to a pulp. Ginsuke was hugged by Hikari. Kushina spoke, okay guys, Team 7 is officially formed. They all cheered and decided to go to Ichiraku's to celebrate. Hidden. Hirana cursed, damn it, oh well, I'll test him another time. She disappeared in a swirl of fire. Team 7. Once they got to Ichiraku, everyone ordered their favorite ramen and talked about how they get stronger together. Team 7 was already closer than the other teams, being that the sensei was the mother of Naruto and the white-haired young man is like his big brother. After they were done, they paid their bill and left. AM sighed as she watched Naruto leave. There was no secret that the beautiful waitress had fallen for their number one customer. AM then activated her Dojutsu, characterized by her eyes glowing red, Ranmaru's Kekkei Genkai. She watched Naruto leave. Skipping to 2 weeks later. A shadow moved across the grass. It was the bane of all the ninja. The daimyo's wife's demon cat Tora. He was quite talented at creating more missing nin than anything in the village. The cat was identified by the orange ribbon on his left ear. Kushina was hiding behind a tree. She then spoke through the communicator in her ear. This is Kushina, do you see the target? Naruto answered his mother back, yeah, Kachan and Nikki and I both see it. And Suki spoke, I'm moving in. Tora then saw a white-haired young man coming at him, but he gained a dark glint in his eyes and rushed at him before slashing him across the face with his claws. And Suki was really pissed, okay cat, you asked for it. Soon his wound healed, much to the cat's shock, and then the boy morphed into a large wolf-like dog. Gensuki was about the size of a large wolf. Gensuki snarled and Tora was shaking in complete fear. Gensuki spoke hungrily, saliva dripping from his mouth, I'm hungry and it looks like fresh cat is on the menu. But Naruto appeared, and Nikki, you can't eat him. As tempting as it is. Gensuki groaned and returned to human form. He crossed his arms, tch. Consider yourself lucky, feline. Tora had been so scared by the white-haired one's transformation, so he didn't fight as the team took him back to his owner. When she hugged him to death, he didn't even fight back, agreeing to stay home from now on. The daimyo's wife then paid for the mission and took her beloved cat back home. Now Sarutobi then checked off that mission. Good, now there's more missions. Fruit picking, babysitting, walking the Inyazuka's dogs. And Suki instantly rejected the Inyazuka mission. Oh hell no. Those Inyazuka women keep trying to molest me. But Tsume helps me against them. He blushed as he thought of the Inyazuka matriarch. Naruto chose this time to scream, no thank you. He had his arms in the timeout position. And Suki sighed, I was wondering when he'd finally had enough. Sakura and Hikari both nod. Kushina just slaps her forehead, but she agrees with her Sachi. These low-level missions will never test their true skills. Naruto spoke stubbornly, I'm not doing these ridiculous missions anymore. Iruka growled, Naruto. You are a genin and these missions are the beginning of your career. And Suki spoke, I agree with Naruto. Iruka, I mean we've done all the D-rank missions. Sarutobi spoke, let me explain, Naruto. Skipping missions, explanation boring. Sarutobi concluded, so you see Naruto, that's why D ranks are the first missions for all shinobi. But Naruto had ignored the entire explanation. I had chicken ramen yesterday, so I'll get some miso ramen today. And Suki was muttering, stupid cat, I should have eaten it when I had the chance. Everyone should know Inuyasha don't get along with non-demonic cats. Sarutobi yelled, pay attention. Soon they stood to attention. Sarutobi sighed, there is a C-rank mission I can give you. Naruto was shocked, really? Sarutobi nods, yes, but it requires you to work with another team. Naruto asked, which team? Sarutobi checked, Team 8 has a mission currently, Team 10 is starting their first D ranks, so just Team 11. And Suki spoke, tch. Fine. Soon a familiar Uchiha girl glomped Naruto's head. Her ample cleavage, Naruto-kun. Have you missed me? It was indeed Kahaku. Sakura and Kushina both released frightening amounts of kai of the Uchiha girl. The boy who looked similar to Sasuke but paler skin arrived. He wore an Anbu-like outfit and had a sword strapped to his back. Then Sasuke appeared. He was still as arrogant as ever. His eyes landed on Naruto with a superior look in them. Sasuke scoffed and looked away. Kakashi soon walked up reading his Icha book, giggling until Kushina in a flash destroyed it with a Kaiten jutsu. Making the silver-haired jonin weep in sorrow for the loss of his book. As Kushina watched the amusing spectacle, she thought, was this man really trained by Minato? Sarutobi spoke, alright Team 7 and 11, this is a C-rank escort mission. He then explained, you will lead this man back to his home in Nami no Kuni. Soon Gensuki and Naruto, having highly advanced senses, smelled alcohol in the air. An older man came up with a bottle of sake. He wore tattered clothes and a straw hat. The man drank a swig and spoke, these are the teams to protect me. Ha. They're snot-nosed brats. He soon insulted them, starting with Team 11. The black-haired boy looks gay, the blue-haired boy looks like a weakling, and the girl looks like one of those bad girls I've heard about. So I just remained silent. Sasuke fumed. Kahaku was inwardly angry, but outwardly didn't react. He then turned his attention to Team 7, the short kid looks stupid, the silver-haired one looks kind of creepy, their girl has a weird hair color, and Pinky looks just weird in those clothes. Suki had to hold back both Naruto and Sakura while trying to suppress his own kai at the rude old man. Hikari was already forming a mini tornado in her palm. He noticed Kushina and grinned, well hello baby. But in a flash Kushina aimed her sword at his little partner. Tanzua nearly had a heart attack. Ginsuke, Naruto, and the other men, even Emo Uchiha, winced in sympathy. Kushina spoke in a sickly sweet tone, I would appreciate it if you didn't insult my Sachi or his friends or else say goodbye to the family jewels. The kai she unleashed frightened even Sarutobi. Tanzua nearly had a heart attack at the thought of losing his mini-me. The man was shocked. He then noticed the slight resemblance between the blonde boy and this hot red-haired woman. Their skin tone was the same, and the boy had some of the woman's red hair color in his blonde hair, and also his hair was like a spikier version of her own long hair. Naruto grew out his hair. The old man paled, oh Kuzo. I just insulted her son. He knew about mother's rage and devotion to their children, from watching his own daughter go to great lengths to protect her own son, his grandson Inari. He then apologized, I'm sorry, I didn't know the blonde was your child. Kushina snorted and then stood back up. She sheathed her sword, just know I'm a jonin, and so is One Eye here. She thumbed toward Kakashi, also Ginsuke is more than powerful enough to help us. The man nodded, I'm Tazuna, a super bridge builder from Nami no Kuni, I'm counting on you ninja to protect me. Soon Team 7 and Tazuna shoved off since Kakashi would be late, wanting to have a proper funeral for his beloved book and was making his team attended. Outside the gates. Everyone was ready and soon Team 11 showed up hours later and they began the trek to Nami no Kuni. Sakura asked, is there a shinobi village in Nami no Kuni? Kushina smiled, no Sakura-chan, it's too poor to have a ninja village, right Tazuna? Kakashi patted his weapons pouch which had a seal on it and in it was a brand new Uchiha book. The old man nods, yes. Kushina explained about the different hidden villages including her old village of Yuzushiogakure. What she didn't know was this man's country was her old country rebuilt. Soon a few minutes later they were walking along a forest trail when they saw a puddle in the middle of the road. Suki, Kushina, Kakashi, Naruto, Sai, Sakura and Kahaku all narrowed their eyes, recognizing it as a genjutsu. Kushina and Kakashi walked over the puddle, but then a long-bladed chain came out of the puddle and wrapped around the two jonin. Two shinobi wearing matching outfits appeared from the puddle. They wore clawed gauntlets just on opposite hands and both had a mask over their mouths. They also wore headbands with the sign of Kurigakure on them. The one on the right spoke, first one's down. They then contracted the chain and it turned the two jonin into bloody chunks. Hikari freaks out. But the others recognized what the two did. Next the two ninja charged at Naruto. But the blonde remained calm. Ginsuke and Sasuke went into action. Ginsuke then delivered a roundhouse to the two, while Sasuke threw a shuriken disabling their chain to a tree. Naruto joined in by managing to kick them a second time. Sai pulled out a scroll. Sai painted something, super beast imitating drawing. He made several ink creature attack the enemy. The two managed to get free and charged at Tazuna again. Sakura and Hikari then appeared in front Tazuna ready to protect him. Naruto, Sasuke and Ginsuke used high-speed movements to appear in front of the girls. But then Kakashi caught one under his arm, while Kushina used a rope of water to capture the other. The bloody chunks became wood. Naruto smiled, they used substitution technique. Ginsuke smirked, as expected of the two strongest jonin of Konohagakure. Kushina was proud of her Sachi and team. Kakashi turned to Tazuna, alright Tazuna, what's going on? Those were the Oni Kaidai, Chunin missing nin from Kurigakure. Tazuna sighed and spoke, it's like this. One explanation later. Kushina spoke, so this Gato is even hiring missing nin to kill you? Tazuna nods, yes, this bridge I'm building is the only hope of my country. Kushina was in thought, then this is no longer a C rank, but an A rank mission. Kakashi spoke, Kushina, they're not ready for this kind of mission, yet I think we should go back. Of course you're free to abandon this mission, and the only thing that will happen is I will be killed and my dear grandson will cry, and my daughter will have a grudge against you Konohinin. Everyone for once had the same thought, he's blackmailing us. Kushina turned to the genin, well, what do you guys think? She didn't even need to ask. Naruto firmly wants to continue the mission. Kitsuke, Sakura, Hikari are with him all the way as his Kahaku. Sai will complete his missions without fail. Sasuke wants to prove his strength on this mission and he won't let the dope outdo him again. Naruto smiled, Kachan, we want to continue the mission to help them. Ginsuke nodded. I agree, we can't just let this Gato have his way. The others of Team 7 and Team 11 nodded in agreement. Kakashi then turned to Tazuna, looks like we're staying. The old man cried tears of joy, thank you all. The group then continued their leave and then managed to hitch a ride on a boat by a rower. but Kushina and Naruto, having a water-based bloodline, just ran alongside the boat. Sasuke turned into true form and ran on the clouds. They soon came to a bridge. Naruto kept his mouth shut but had this thought: it's huge. After everyone arrived, they got off the boat, out of the water and sky, and continued their trek toward Tazuna's home. Hidden base. The fat short man with glasses was pissed at the demon brothers for their failure. But then he felt genuine fear as a massive sword was nearly at him. It was wielded by a very tall, frightening man. He spoke, "Don't worry Gato, I'll take care of the problems." Gato spoke, "See that you do, Zabuza." The short businessman then walked off. Zabuza spoke to the demon brothers, "So tell me all the details." Gato then walked down the hall and came to a massive hidden room with a massive gate with a seal on the door. Inside the gate, a pair of massive red slitted eyes opened as something giant moved around in the cage. It was a demon fox. Its crimson black fur could be partially seen as it rippled due to the creature's massive power. Tails thrashed behind the demon, 10 of them. The frightening third eye was on his forehead and resembled a mixture of the Sharingan and Rinnegan. The creature spoke in a deep, commanding tone. "What do you want with me, Gato? I told you that just because you managed to get my son to bring me back to life, I do not serve you." Gato chuckled, "I know, I just thought I'd tell you that soon you will get to have some fun." The massive creature then grinned, 2 rows of massive fangs fully visible. "I see very well. I will do as you ask for now." Gato left. The massive fox demon thought, "Benahem-chan, Karana-chan, my daughters, I was brought back by your brother using a mysterious force, and now I too am a Juubi. I wish to see you both." Yup, it's the previous Kyuubi, now the second Juubi, brought back by his third eldest child, his first son. But Team 7. Our 2 shinobi teams were traveling through Nami Forest quite bored. Naruto was spinning a water orb to break the boredom, and Gensuke was just whistling. Kushina could sense there was something familiar about this country. But then Naruto suddenly cried out, "Hey!" He turned the water into the shape of a kunai and threw it into the bushes, scaring the others. Kushina scolded, "Sachi. Be careful with your actions." She did love her son very much, but he could be such a handful sometimes. Naruto ignored his mother, having sensed something. There. He formed another water kunai and threw it into the bushes again. Kushina was about to smack her son over the head when Kitsuke saw something through bushes. It was a snow rabbit. Naruto freaks out and runs to the frightened critter, hugging it and apologizing. Gensuke's eyes narrowed. "Wait a minute, this rabbit's coat is white, but it's not winter, it's summer. Which means?" Gensuke then heard a humming sound. The Inugami shouted, "Duck." Instantly everyone hit the ground as a massive Zanbato-type sword whirred through the air and got stuck in a tree. Soon a man appeared on the sword. Gensuke's eyes widened. Kushina narrowed her eyes. This just became a whole lot harder. The man was really tall, standing about 6 foot, and had short, spiky dark brown hair and brown eyes. He wore no shirt but camouflage pants and sandals. Bandages covered his mouth and nose. The man spoke, "Well, no wonder the demon brothers failed. It's the copy ninja Hatake Kakashi and the Red Death Uzumaki Kushina." He explained, "We've heard about you two in our bingo books, the man who was said to copy 1,000 jutsu, the copy ninja Kakashi, and the only kunoichi to beat the Yondaime and kill over 300 Iwa ninja, the Uzumaki Kushina." Naruto was shocked. "I knew Kachan was strong, but to have a place in the bingo book. Kachan, just how powerful are you really?" Kushina then spoke, "Mamachi's Zabuza, former Kurigakure Anbu commander and known as the Demon of the Mist." Kakashi knew what to do and lifted his headband to reveal a Sharingan. Sasuke, who was the closet to Kakashi, currently saw it, Sharingan. "But how? It's only supposed to be in my clan. Could this man be?" Zabuza smirked, "Oh, you know me too, I'm honored." The Demon of the Mist then used Shunshin to appear in front of them with his Kubikiri HMCHM now in his hand. "Unfortunately, I'm here for the old man, not you two." Kushina lowered into her clan's Taijutsu stance. "Unfortunately for you, Zabuza, we're the ones he summoned to protect him." Zabuza smirked more, "Then it's a good thing I brought backup." He raised his hand to form an Anbu hand seal. Soon 3 other people came out of the forest. One was a young man with long spiky dark crimson black hair and red fox eyes. He wore a long jacket and hakama. He gazed at Naruto, sensing his younger sister within the boy. "So this is my sister's latest Jinchuriki, eh? He looks pathetic." The other was a silver-haired man with dog ears and yellow slitted eyes. He wore an all-red outfit. The third was a young woman wearing a blue outfit and a mask covered her face. Her nails were painted a green-blue color. Her black hair was tied in a bun. Gensuke spoke, shocked at the dog-eared man, "Hey Nikki." The dog-eared man smirked, "Hey Itato, it's been a while. I see you're a shinobi now." He then drew a battered-looking sword which instantly morphed into a giant fang. Zabuza spoke, "Inuyasha, Kaio. You guys and Haku all handle the brats. Kakashi and Kushina are mine to deal with." Inuyasha went for Gensuke, "Come on Itato, show me how much stronger you've grown." Ginsuke then drew his own blade and clashed with his older brother. Aya went for Naruto, "Come Brad, I wish to test my little sister's vessel." He aimed with his claws in a piercing motion. Enahem cried out, "Naruto-kun run. My brother's too powerful for you to handle right now." Naruto barely managed to avoid the strike. Haku performed a strange hand seal, and ice mirrors surrounded Sakura and Hikari, who both activated their own Kekkei Genkai. Zabuza then charged at Kushina and Kakashi, who met him head-on. So this part ends here. Alright, that's it for today's video guys. Let me know in the comments section how was the story, and also don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I will meet you in another video. Bye bye.